Tom, you've got some really exciting ingredients here, mate. What's all this for, and what have we got here?
Yeah, look, this dish is, it does excite me, and I think it just really brings out the kind of the best flavours of the venison. So we're cooking with the leg steak. A lot of people probably, they wouldn't typically, go towards a leg steak the way we're going to cook it.
Yeah.
And that's just really hard in the pan, a nice rest, and we're pairing it with a beautiful grated beetroot salad with some. We foraged some wild blackberries this morning.
They look awesome, man.
And then a wee bit of toasted buckwheat through the cast iron pan.
Cool.
Let's crack into it.
Awesome. So you want me to just peel this and grate it into the bowl and treat it like a salad?
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Awesome. So I'll put them in the bowl, hit them with a bit of vinegar.
Yeah, nice glug of vinegar. And I'm just going to start by putting a touch of buckwheat into the cast iron pan here. And buckwheat is, if you cook it on a high heat, like we are here, it brings out these really nutty flavours, and it also kind of it creates a beautiful texture and sort of get that nice pop, almost like a bit like popcorn, and then that's going to get tossed through the salad near the end.
And I'm just sort of smashing these up a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. Look at that. That's looking beautiful. Amazing the colour just coming out of those berries right now.
Yeah, and the smell, as it mixed with that red wine vinegar, it's just such a alluring smell. So this is quite an acidic dressing, and that's just going to sort of combat the sweetness and earthiness of the beetroot, eh?
Yeah, and we're gonna put quite a bit of olive oil in with that, and that olive oil just takes the edge off that acid.
Cool. And should I add that olive oil after the beetroot?
Yeah, we'll kind of sort of, I guess, we're pickling the beetroot.
Yeah,
once that kind of gets grated in there, it sort of just lightly pickles it. And so we've got the leg steak here, and I've just given it a really light oil. I think one of the main things with cooking a piece of meat like this is because we're not going to cook it for a very long time in the pan. It's super important that it's brought up to room temperature. And when you pull a large bit of meat out of the fridge, season it and put it in the pan, when you go to rest it, the heat doesn't penetrate through to the core. Would you agree? Is that sort of something?
Yeah, for sure.
You do as well?
That's it. We cook venison, every day and have done for 30 odd years at the restaurant. The most common thing that people worry about, because it's such a lean, nutritious meat, people worry about the fact that it dries out. The easy way to combat that is just don't cook it too much.
Yeah, that's it.
If we, God forbid, if we undercook it, we just cook it a bit more.
That's it.
It's an easy fix.
And also, high heat. I really like to use flaky sea salt with a joint of meat like this, or anything that I'm cooking in the pan, really. And what that salt does, it sort of, I guess, it creates a barrier or a crust over the meat, and it lets the oil kind of come in underneath the pan, and you get a really beautiful even colour, and it doesn't stick.
Yeah, true.
So we've got a heavy crust on there. It looks like a lot of salt, but a lot of that won't actually stay on the meat as well. But we're just trying to form that crust.
When you eat something like that, that's come from such a untouched, pure place, it's not even a taste, it's a feeling. Like the nutrition just surges through you, and it's honestly, you can feel it doing good things for you. It's a foraging animal. It eats what it can find around the place, and in an environment like this, food's abundant. They're eating really, really well, and they're eating select bits and pieces, and so honestly, you can taste the provenance in the meat.
Yeah,
I mean,
you really can.
That if I heard someone say that before, I'd say that was a bit far-fetched. But after eating this Fiordland Wapiti, I stand by it. I say it on camera.
Yeah, you just did.
Yeah.
We've had the leg steak in here for no more than a couple of minutes, and what we're trying to do is just establish that crust or that colour. I've said it once today, and I'll say it again. Colour really is flavour. You can see that beautiful caramelisation. Move some of that heat around. Find the hot spots of the pan. And a little bit of butter.
A lot of bit of butter.
Garlic, yeah.
Let's smash that up in there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's smelling good, eh?
Yeah, and that foam, you know, I love the sound of foaming butter.
Yeah. I reckon that's done, mate. That's how quick, eh?
Yeah. And you
That's
feel,
so good.
you know, you feel that sort of tightness.
Yeah. Yeah, right, yeah, so it's like, it's got a bit of resistance, eh?
Yeah, that's right. It's got resistance. So we're resting it just off to the side here on a cake rack. And
You could just put it on a plate or something like that if you're at home.
yeah, totally. It's just something to, you know, I think resting is just so crucial when it comes to, yeah, I guess cooking a steak or anything that you're cooking, you know, under medium or medium rare.
Yeah, and when we've been cooking hot like this, it's like, you know, it's like just easing the brakes on rather than just slamming on the brakes. You know, we've just got to let it do its thing, cool down again gradually.
Yeah.
Let the muscle fibers relax. It's been quite an intense experience in that pan with that beautiful garlic and butter. This is just a way to ease off that cooking process and just let it chill out. Beautiful. That's lovely.
Mm.
We need a touch of salt to finish.
So yeah.
We've got some buckwheat there.
Yeah. A couple of berries. So we nestle in there.